Hey everyone, I'm Jay Halley, one of the pastors at the chapel, and I get to read to you from James chapter 4, and it goes like this. What is causing the quarrels and fights among you? Don't they come from the evil desires at war within you? You want what you don't have, so you scheme and kill to get it. You're jealous of what others have, but you can't get it, so you fight and wage war to take it away from them. Yet you don't have what you want because you don't ask God for it. And even when you ask, you don't get it because your motives are all wrong. You want only what will give you pleasure. That's James chapter 4, verses 1 through 3. James is talking about quarreling and fighting. Of course, we've all had a quarrel. We've all been in a fight. Even now, during this time of crisis, we're all under one roof. And that can be a really good thing to be with those whom we love, but it can also be a hard thing. Conflicts will happen. That's life. We're going to have disagreements from time to time. But I think James has something bigger in view here. You may have fights from time to time, but are you known as being a fighter? You may have arguments, but are you known as being argumentative? You may have quarrels, but are you known as being quarrelsome? And James, I think, is asking the question, why is that? Why do we allow that behavior to rule in our lives? Well, he goes on to answer that question by saying simply this: our fighting, our quarreling, our argumentative behavior can be traced back to the desires that lurk within our hearts, that battle within. Of course, that's been the problem since Adam and Eve. I want what I want, not so much what God wants. So the problem down through history. I want what I want, not what God wants. Maybe you've been following some of the crazy stories coming out of places like Walmart and Sam's Club. People getting into fights over things like toilet paper, which I heard referred to the other day as white gold. But even in non-crisis times, somebody wants more money, or they maybe want more status or more recognition or more stuff, whatever it might be. And as a result, fights and quarrels and arguments can happen because those desires come out of that selfish place in our hearts. And James says you can even pray for higher status and more money and more recognition, but God's not going to give it to you because it comes out of that selfish, prideful place in the heart. It's all about you. It's all about me. And so James makes it pretty simple. You want God to respond to your needs, to your prayers? Pray like this. First of all, pray. Some people don't get what they want because they never ask God. That's what James says. But then, pray this: God, this is what I want. But more than anything, what I want are the desires of your heart, that they would be the desires of my heart, and that I would have an understanding of your will for my life. Amen.